Hey guys, this is Sal and welcome to yet another episode of Moneyflow Mindset. Moneyflow Mindset सीरीज में आप सभी का स्वागत है एंड दिस इज एपिसोड नंबर 4 इन दिस ब्यूटीफुल सीरीज जहां पे हम आपके मनी माइंडसेट पे वर्क कर रहे हैं whether it is technical aspect or it is psychological aspect. And in last 3 episodes we have already worked upon your goals and we have also worked upon your beliefs, and we also discussed about the difference between scarcity mindset and abundance mindset. और इस एपिसोड में हम लोग आपकी सेल्फ वर्थ पे वर्क करने वाले हैं, because self-worth is equals to net worth. The more you are worthy enough, the more you think that you're worthy enough, the more you will attract abundance in your life, whether it is with respect to health, wealth, relationship, and so on. And before jumping into this particular video, I just want to ensure that आपने पहले 3 videos को अच्छे से देखा है. You have taken proper notes and you have also used the framework which I shared in all of those videos in order to first set your goals, then in order to recreate your beliefs from limiting beliefs to positive ones. And in the last video you have already started converting your scarcity mindset wale statements into abundance mindset based statements. And let's quickly have a look at the today's episode that is going to be based on self worth. And पहले मैं आपसे कुछ pointers share करूंगा, some of the symptoms, or you can consider some of the examples which a lot of people actually have in the form of statements in their mind, in the form of constant statements or constant thoughts in their mind when it comes to their own self worth. And जैसे कि मैंने initially भी बताया, your self worth equals to your net worth. The more you feel that you're worthy enough, the more you will attract abundance in your life, in all the areas of life. So make sure you pay attention to this particular point. So once again, welcome to Moneyflow Mindset episode number 4, जहाँ पे सबसे पहले हम लोग symptoms देखेंगे of low self worth. यानी कि बहुत सारे लोग जो है खुद को वर्दी इनफ नहीं समझते हैं. एंड देयर इज ऑल्सो अ पॉसिबिलिटी दैट यू माइट बी at a stage which is between like low self-worth and high self-worth, but immediately, like let's assume while going through this particular video, you will be absolutely clear that even if I consider myself to be deserving to be of self-worth, like high self-worth and so on, but there's a possibility that कुछ statements होंगे या फिर कुछ conditions होंगे which you are fulfilling from low self-worth category. And once you are aware of that particular thing, then definitely you can work on it and you can transform it into high financial self-worth zone and so on, right? So let's have a look at couple of examples. So सबसे पहले, you feel guilty while spending on yourself, whether it is with respect to your own clothing, whether it is on your own vacations or your learning, buying certain books or courses or programs or whatsoever. But while you are spending on yourself, actually देखा जाए तो it is experiencing or it is investing money on yourself. But बहुत सारे लोग जो है उसको spending category में consider करते हैं, and even if they consider it as spending, but still while spending that particular amount of money they feel guilty. And deep inside जो है हमारा self worth subconsciously low हो जाता है when it comes to attracting financial abundance and so on. So if you are into that particular zone where you feel guilty while you are spending on yourself, even if it's like 100 rupees, 500 rupees, 1000 rupees on yourself, still that is piling up on that particular category of low financial self-worth. So make sure you are staying aware of that and you start feeling grateful while you are spending on yourself or you are investing on yourself or while you are experiencing that particular amount of money, rather than feeling guilty. Point number 2 is that you find it hard to receive compliments or money. जब भी कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स की बात आती है, कीप मनी असाइड फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर इंस्टेंस ऑफ टाइम, बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे होता है दैट even if let's assume in this particular day they are looking very good based on their dressing sense, based on their personality or hairstyle or whatever, सामने से अगर कोई उनको कॉम्प्लीमेंट करता है, so at that instance of time they find it uncomfortable, and rather than saying thank you, they give back the compliment that yes, you are also looking good, you are looking beautiful and so on. So that is why जब आप सामने से स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड वही कॉम्प्लीमेंट को रिवर्ट बैक कर देते हो, सो दैट डिपिक्ट्स लो सेल्फ वर्थ. एंड एट द सेम इंस्टेंस ऑफ टाइम, इफ यू आर graceful and you're grateful while attracting those particular compliments and while receiving those particular compliments, you are in the zone of high self-worth and so on, and you know that whatever efforts you have put on, that's why you are receiving those compliments. And similar is when it comes to money as well. जब भी आप पैसे रिसीव करते हो, बहुत सारे लोगों को लगता है that I'm not worthy of it, or ultimately they overspend that amount of money or they invest somewhere जहाँ पे उनको रिटर्न्स नहीं मिलते हैं बिकॉज दे आर इन्वेस्टिंग based on low self-worth category and so on. So make sure you are grateful and graceful whenever you receive compliments, whether it is with respect to your own physical attire, whether it is with respect to your own emotional attire as well. While let's assume you're talking to somebody and somebody else compliments based on your own emotional intelligence and so on, still you should find it grateful to accept those compliments and so on, and ultimately you will attract more money. And again, this is one of the exercise which we do in our community as well, that whenever you receive money, bless the money and bless the person, and whenever you give back money to somebody else, bless the money and bless the person to whom you are giving that amount of money and so on. And ultimately, जब भी आप पैसे रिसीव करते हो या पैसे आप किसी को देते हो, you are changing that particular frequency to a positive ones, and once you stay in that particular zone of positive frequency, you attract more and more amount of money, because ultimately the universe says that if I am giving this particular person 1,000 rupees, and if he or she is feeling grateful for even those 1,000 rupees, let me give 5,000, let me give 10,000, let me give 10 lakhs, 1 crore, and so on. So that's how life works, right? So I hope that you don't find it hard from the next time onwards. पॉइंट नंबर 3 इज दैट यू अंडरचार्ज इवन व्हेन यू डिलीवर हाई वैल्यू, एंड इसके बारे में हम लोगों ने काफी बार डिस्कस किया है इन लास्ट 3 वीडियोस, सो वी विल नॉट गो डीपर इनटू दिस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट, बट टू बी कंसाइज एंड प्रिसाइज, व्हेनेवर you provide value to somebody else, whether you are doing a job, you are doing a business, or you're an entrepreneur, you under deliver because you consider yourself to be of low self worth, and that's why you have this self doubt कि जो भी मैं value provide कर रहा हूँ, क्या सामने वाला मुझे उतनी वैल्यू पे करेगा, and that's why you undercharge yourself. Rather than, let's assume, charging 10,000 rupees, you are charging 7.5k or 5k, and that's how you ultimately reduce your self worth consciously and subconsciously as well, consciously and subconsciously as well, right? So that's what the overall point number 3 is all about, and as I already mentioned, we have discussed about this point a lot of times, so we'll not go deeper into this. Point number 4 is that you fear success as much as failure. बहुत सारे लोगों को लगता है that I am fearful of failure, but when it comes to success as well, बहुत सारे लोग, while they are consistent on their action, they feel fearful that what if जो success मैंने अभी achieve की है, let's assume you have made 6 figure for the very first time, or you have made 7 figures, or you have made 1 crore and so on. So at that instance of time, you fear success as much as you fear failure, and that's why a lot of people, even if they achieve success, but they lose it immediately, or few days down the line, few weeks down the line, or few months down the line, ultimately after they achieve it and so on, right? So if you are in that particular zone where you fear success as much as you fear failure, this is your time to think and rethink. Sit in silence, sit in a solo place, and note down all the things which you are fearful of, and you start to work upon it, because once you start working on that particular aspect, you'll automatically break through that particular belief, that break through that particular fear of success, and you will able to sustain the benchmarks which you are going to achieve in the coming future and so on. So make sure you work upon this particular aspect as well. Point number 5 is that you avoid looking at your bank account, and this is the scenario with a lot of people. जब भी उनके अकाउंट में सैलरी आती है, or they get certain amount from their business and so on, so they spend overall amount of money in the first week itself, and eventually after 1 or 2 weeks they stop looking at their bank account because they feel ashamed that their bank account is very low, or they are unable to pay for any other experiences or expenses and so on. So that's why from the next time they start avoiding looking at their bank account, rather than looking at their bank account and actually feeling inspired enough that yes, in this month I don't have, let's assume, they consider that in this month I don't have any other extra expenses, but from next month onwards I'm going to work upon some other things, work upon some other opportunities, or I'm going to create a parallel source of income for myself, so that I can have money even till the end of that particular month and so on. So again, rather than avoiding it, you can actually feel inspired enough by looking at your low bank account as well, low bank balance, and ultimately you can start working upon your own self-worth, you can start working upon your skill set, and you can start creating a parallel source of income, so that you can have like consistent amount of money coming into your bank account and so on, right? So that's point number 5. And point number 6 is that you compare constantly on social media. And this is one of the most common point because of which a lot of teenagers, especially between the age of 17 and 25 to 30, they are feeling overwhelmed a lot, and they are feeling that उन्होंने अपनी लाइफ में कुछ अचीव ही नहीं किया है based on the success which they are able to see of the people those who are like twice of their age, or people those who worked really very hard for a lot of years, and right now उनको ऐसे लग रहा है कि इस बंदे ने overnight success achieve कर ली, but just because of that, rather than looking at the input, they are looking at the output, and they are constantly comparing it with their level of success, whether it is with respect to their health, wealth, relationships, and so on. Because social media ऐसी चीज है जहाँ पे even if you ask best of the best people, those who are present on social media, a lot of them are also faking on it, and they have actually उन्होंने socially भी बताया है, publicly भी बताया है that we have to fake it even if we are not in a mood to share anything on social medias and so on, because that's what social media life is all about, that glorifying version of it. So that's why it's better to look at your own inputs of what you put yesterday and compare it with today's input. Because अगर आप हर रोज एक input level भी बढ़ा रहे हो, which is ultimately improving and increasing your probability of succeeding in the near future and so on. So rather than comparing with other people on social media, start comparing your own inputs which you put yesterday and which you're going to put today and tomorrow and day after tomorrow and so on. So I hope that this makes sense, and I hope that now you're going to work upon your self-worth. Rather than being in the zone of low self-worth, you are actually going to work upon it, and you're going to make it in the positive zone and high self-worth and so on, because ultimately your self-worth equals to net worth. So make sure you keep that statement in mind, right? So I'm going to give you a worth framework जिससे आप अपने low self-worth पे work कर सकते हो in order to convert into a high financial self-worth. And again, this framework applies to all the areas as well. So you can apply this worth framework on your health aspect, you can apply it on your relationship aspect, spirituality aspect, and so on. It's not compulsory for only financial self-worth. But let's quickly begin with W. First of all, worth framework ka W is where you have to write your past money wounds. There could be a lot of a lot of experiences which you might have based on your own past experience, based on your family's experience, or based on your overall society's experience, because of which you are carrying a lot of past money wounds. And societal experiences जैसे बताया जाए that right now we are in India, so Britishers का जैसे they used to rule on our country and so on. So because of that, our parents, our grandparents carried those money wounds, and ultimately it passed on to us as well. That slavery minded, and we have to work really very hard in order to make the ends meet. So these are past money wounds which we got from societal experiences and so on. And there are also other experiences which you might have got because of your parents, because of your own experiences and so on. Maybe there's a possibility that you might have seen your parents fighting or your siblings fighting for money, and because of which you had this belief that having a lot of money is also a curse for the family and so on. And that is why you are unable to attract abundance of money in your life, and that is why you have actually reduced your self-worth, that I don't want to be in that particular category जहाँ पे मैं बहुत ज्यादा पैसा कमा के I am actually staying away from my family members, or I am having negative relationship with all of them and so on. So that's why you reduce your self-worth, and you ultimately reduce your possibility of high net worth as well. So the first step is that you have to write your past money wounds. Step number 2 is that you have to observe your money language. अगर आपका money language negative है, start reframing it into a positive one. That's what the step number 3 is, that you have to reframe it with the truth statement. Let's assume you have a belief that uh, for example, let's assume rich people are greedy. Is it a truth statement? This could be a truth statement for a poor minded person, but if you want to be rich, this is not the truth statement. So you will have to reframe it that rich people are good, rich people are helping other people and so on, which is actually true. So that's why, again, if you don't know how to reframe it, you can take help from ChatGPT, you can take help from AI, but make sure that it's a truthful statement from the perspective of the life which you want to attract in your life. If you want to attract like poor life, like broke life, you can actually have this belief that rich people are greedy, they do something wrong to other people in order to become rich and so on. So ultimately you will remain in that poor category. But if you want to get into that rich zone, then you will have to reframe it into a positive one, from a positive perspective, that yes, rich people are good and which are actually good. So again, first you have to write your past money wounds. Second is that you have to observe your money language. If it is negative, then you have to reframe it with a positive one, with a truth statement. Then the step number 4 is that you have to treat yourself with respect, because if you don't respect yourself, ultimately money also won't respect you, and money won't come to you because you are not respecting yourself. Just keep this one single thing in mind, that money comes to those people, those who respect themselves, those who have high respect for themselves, those who have high self-worth. Those are the people actually to whom money comes effortlessly and in abundance, right? So start treating yourself with respect. Start with one small activity which is actually going to make you happy, which is actually going to keep you into that high self-worth zone, positive treatment and so on. Then step number 5 is that you have to heal with daily affirmations, because जैसे कि मैंने काफी बार बताया है that affirmations are nothing but positive statements which you repeat over and over the period of time, because of which आपका subconscious mind जो है, let's assume right now it is in the negative zone, but after you affirm it again and again, after you repeat positive statements, your subconscious mind also start accepting that yes, this positive statement is now the new reality and I have to reframe the overall life around the same, and that's how you actually attract the level, the success which you want to achieve in your life, again provided you are also taking appropriate action and so on, which is again we have already discussed in last 3 episodes as well, because like knowing but not doing is the end of knowing, and inaction is the biggest killer of the success. So make sure you stay into the zone of action rather than inaction, and you take proper value from this overall worth framework. Again, sit in silence and work upon your own mindset, own skill set, and make sure you work upon this particular worth framework so that you can understand कि कौन सी ऐसी चीजें हैं because of which you are actually lacking the high self-worth zone in your life, because ultimately your self-worth equals to net worth. And note it down, because this is what the guru mantra of attracting high net worth in life is all about. Take any big personality in the world, whether it is with respect to their health, wealth, relationship, whether it is with respect to their career as well, they have high self-worth. That's why they are able to achieve they are able to achieve that particular level of high net worth and high level of success and so on, right? So I hope that you're going to work upon your mindset with the help of this particular worth framework. And please do make sure that जो भी आपके takeaways होंगे from this epic episode, do share below in the comment section. And अगर आपने कोई भी life experiences experience किए हैं based on this particular symptoms of low self worth, अगर आप share करना चाहो, you can share this you can share your experiences below this particular video in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, live fully, love openly, and make the difference today. I wish you joy and abundance in all you do.